up on UVU TV. From just down the street, the BYU Cougars, with an overall record of 4-12, will face off against the Utah Valley Wolverines. Will the Cougars be able to pounce on the Wolverines, or will Utah Valley finish the match victorious? Join us on UVU TV.
Kill attempt on the outside, ball long row, good tip, and that is game, set, and match point. Kid, you hear me? Check, check.
Welcome to the campus of Utah Valley University and to the Costa Vida pregame show. I'm your host, Kevin Castle, and joining me today, my broadcast partner, Steve Vale. Folks, today we have a great match on hand. We have the Utah Valley University Wolverines taking on the Cougars of Brigham Young University. Steve, this is a match I've been looking forward to all season. And before we get into this match, we want to look back at Tuesday and talk about the match that Utah Valley had with Weber State and the Wildcats. Let's take a look at that and tell us a little bit about what we saw there.
Yeah, Utah Valley came out to play some ball that night, that's for sure. They made short work of the Weber State Wildcats. They came out strong, passing very well, serving very tough, and they just took care of Weber State at every turn. Let's see here some action from some of the highlights of that match. Again, the tough serving and the great serve receive from Utah Valley allowed them to run their offense, spread their hitters out, spread that block out, and really take full advantage of every asset they had. Some huge hitters, put up some big numbers for Utah Valley. They won in 3 straight. It was an early night for everybody.
That's right, it really was a great match. One that if you missed it, you'll have to look it up on TV to see it again. But tonight, we want to talk a little bit about this match. And before we get into this match, Steve, let's look at the conference standings, see where Utah Valley's at right now.
Yeah, Utah Valley is 4th right now in their conference. They're 2-2 in conference play and 11-7 overall. So they're climbing the charts a little bit. They've done really well at home lately. See if they can continue that streak tonight.
It'll be a great match. And as all great matches go, we know that great players drive each match. We're going to look at a couple key players from each team. Tell us about that.
We're going to look at a couple of middle blockers. One for Utah Valley, one for BYU. Both coming in at 6'2". And we're going to get a look at them in just a sec. But let's talk a little bit about what we can expect from each team. For Utah Valley, they need to defend home court. They've been doing a great job of that lately. Need to continue that tonight. They need to play their game, not get caught up in the rhythms or the pace of BYU, but really play at their speed, at their game. And don't get intimidated by BYU. BYU, bigger school, bigger conference, bigger opponents, but they've got a struggling season, and UV needs to take care of that. BYU, on the other hand, needs to not look past Utah Valley. Again, a smaller school, but they've got a great squad and came to play tonight. They need to forget about their record right now and take care of tonight's business, and they need to just play solid all around at every aspect of the game tonight.
Well, there you have it. Those are the keys to the game. Now let's look a little bit more closely at those key players.
You bet. Again, I mentioned we're going to look at 2 middle blockers, one for Utah Valley and one for BYU, both coming in at 6'2". Nicole Warner's a sophomore out of Rigby, Idaho. 113 kills so far, 1.27 blocks, and per set, and 85 total blocks. For Sarah Clement, she's a junior out of Linden, Utah. 104 kills, 1.09 blocks per set, and 74 total. So pretty even. They're going to battle it out tonight and see who comes out on top.
Well, we have some great players. We have some great teams. We're going to be right here back to the action. This has been the Costa Vida pregame report. Kevin Castle and Steve Vale. We'll be right back, folks.
check.
Utah Valley University. Your life, your beat, your university.
Welcome back, folks, to the second half of Costa Vida pregame report. Kevin Castle along with my broadcast partner, Steve Vale. Steve, we got the crosstown rivalry in the house tonight. Brigham Young University Cougars against the hometown Utah Valley University Wolverines. Should be an exciting match tonight. Looking forward to it. Got a lot of great players here on the floor, a lot of great fans in the stands. It's really filling up. Give us your take on what's going down tonight, what the coaches have to say.
It's pretty exciting so far. I mean, we're almost at capacity. Haven't even started the match yet, but had a quick conversation with both coaches before the match, and in talking with Sam, he's been pretty impressed with his girls the last couple outings, been doing a really good job of taking care of home court. And he said they're pretty fired up about tonight's match. BYU not sporting the best record they've ever had. However, it's still BYU, you know, and they're watching them in warm-ups. I think they won the warm-up. They're very physical, which leads me to kind of what, in talking with Shay, the head coach for BYU, she mentioned, you know, yeah, we've struggled a little bit this year, but we are a very physical team. And if we can pass well, serve well, we win that battle, I think we walk away with a victory tonight. So that was just briefly kind of the thoughts coming from both coaches on tonight's match. And it's funny, I think both sides of the net are feeling pretty good about their chances tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty exciting. You know, Utah Valley, the last two matches they've had, both went out 3-0 on those. Took real quick command of the matches and never let up, and it seems like they're riding kind of a hot streak right now, so we'll see if that can continue tonight. Let's get into the starting lineups for tonight, talk about that, go through that. First of all, for the Cougars, we've got number 6 at libero, outside, that's Kendallin Hartsock, he's the sophomore. At the setter, we've got number 9, Kiana Rogers. At outside hitter, number 11, Corian Clark. The other outside hitter is number 14, Christy Carpenter, sister of Corey Carpenter, who played at BYU for the men's team, won a national championship with them, good friend of ours. Number 15, Nicole Warner at middle blocker. Number 18, Stephanie Snow at the other middle blocker. And at the opposite or right side position, number 19, Jennifer Hampson. For the Wolverines, you've got outside hitter number 2, Chelsey Heaps. At the setter position, number 3, Brooklyn Campbell.
We're going to dissolve to a graphic here with the lineups.
And number 4, Danny Robinson at the middle blocker position. And also number 6, Kayli Doxey at the outside hitter. Number 10, JC Caresa at the opposite position tonight. Number 11, Kathleen Stevens. She's at the libero position for the Wolverines tonight. And number 15, Sarah Clement at the other middle blocker position. So we've got really great lineups here for tonight for both teams. The coaches for tonight, we've got Shay Golding in her 3rd season for the Cougars. And Coach Sam Atoa in his 12th season heads up the Wolverine side.
So we get a look at some of the faces of the girls that we talked about that are getting the start for the match tonight. Not a whole lot new on UV's side of the court. The traditional starters that have been coming out that we've seen so far in the year that have done a great job of taking care of business.
And as we look at the banners here, we just see them drop. It's just something really unique in that the athletic department's decided to do for the volleyball program here. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back.
cut back to the banners? Yeah, let's do that. Welcome back to our broadcast. Before we went to the break, we were just kind of giving a shot of the new banners that we're dropping in the Shurian Family Activity Center. And they represent a few things, Steve. First of all, we've got the ICAC championships that were won here at Utah Valley. That was the first junior college conference that Utah Valley was a part of. And then they moved into the SWAC conference. And you can see kind of the years that you and I were here. Got some championships there. And then they moved into Region 18. And that was just precursor to their entrance into the NCAA Division I. And that's when they went independent, and they won almost 3 straight championships there, 2005, 2007, and 2008. Now, the last 2 banners, those display all the All-Americans. There's 19 of them that were here, you know, back from 1984, in the program's inception, until 2002. And that was when they were a junior college. So really a nice tribute to the players that have came here before. You and I could look at that, at those banners and the names up there, and are familiar with several of those. And really a lot of great players that have come through Utah Valley in the past, in every rendition of the school and through the program. So pretty exciting to see them honored here tonight. Looks like we're getting ready to get underway. They're just announcing lineups here in-house. But any other last thoughts, Steve, before we get the first serve?
Well, I think, like you say, we're about to get going here. Everyone's pretty jazzed tonight. There's a lot of energy in this arena tonight. A lot of fans, both blue and green, out tonight in force. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight. Again, both teams feeling very confident about their chances. It's going to be a battle.
Officials are just going through now, checking lineups. Looks like we're going to get ready to get underway. Going to check and see who has serve for tonight. Looks like it's going to be BYU.
I know we talk a lot about...
Looks like it's going to be Utah Valley. Utah Valley. Brooklyn Campbell, number 3, is going to start us off tonight serving.
We talk a lot about the battle of serve-receive. And that's really, I mean, that's what it comes down to in volleyball. Can you serve tough? Can you pass well? Everything else stems from that. You either take them out of their system, or they take you out of yours. If they can't establish the middle, it's very hard to open up those outside hitters and opposite hitters. So it all really comes down to that. So we'll see tonight who's serving tougher and who's passing better.
Utah Valley starting in rotation 1. It looks like that you're going to start in rotation 3 for the Cougars. What that means, folks, is that the setter is in the left back position on the court. And first ball goes over the Cougars, played back. Kayli Doxey, Steve, like we say every time, if the ball's going to Kayli, good chance it's going to the floor.
I'm pretty sure her middle name is automatic, because she hammers, but not just blindly. She has great vision, able to avoid that block and find the hardwood. They go right back to her. That time she goes up and over the UV block. But again, watching these BYU hitters in warm-ups, they were just thundering balls. So we'll see how it pans out.
Interesting fact about BYU, last Thursday, BYU won the match against San Diego State, and BYU enters today's contest with a 4-12 record on the season. So like you said, that you mentioned earlier, you know, a little bit of a rough start for the Cougars, not something they're used to having that record reversed. They're used to being 12-4, you know, one of the more solid D1 programs in the country, and just struggling a little bit at the start of this year. Kayli Doxey teeing off.
BYU catching a little shrapnel, but still, with a smartly placed free ball, able to pick up that cheap point. But
Caught
they'll
Utah
take it.
Valley standing around there for just a moment.
I think they thought that play was over with after that huge bomb from the opposite position.
Hampson's serve goes long. Utah Valley.
Brooklyn Campbell was a little disappointed with her first back set to Kayli, and so went right back to her, and she just absolutely thundered that ball.
Kayli with a great serve down the line.
Trouble there.
Sarah doing a good job covering that one over to the other side. Big block they put up. BYU has to hit over the top of that, and that causes that ball to go long. It's another point for the Wolverines. It ties it up 3-3 here in set number 1. Doxey with another great serve. Outside hitter number 14, Christy Carpenter is blocked. Sarah Clement comes over and seals with JC Caresa on the right side and really puts up a big wall there.
Yeah, Utah Valley came to play some ball tonight. That was a great block. Nice turn on that serve. Too much to handle for BYU.
It was a great push out to Chelsey Heaps. And one thing there, though, is she had the blocker, the flow of the play was going that way, and Brooklyn might have, you know, as a freshman setter, might want to start looking at that and kind of going away from the flow of the play occasionally. Carpenter serve, nice serve, but handled well by Utah Valley.
BYU, nice job keeping that ball alive for the moment, for the time being.
Sarah Clement is really making it tough on the Cougar hitters, putting up a big block, forcing them to create some angles. It's just not leading them to put the ball in the court.
Yeah, BYU obviously a little bit worried about that block, sprays that ball way wide.
Kat Stevens with a tough serve.
Wow.
The Cougars come back with a great slide on the right side. Number 18, Stephanie Snow with the kill on that one. She goes out.
Pretty quick attack too, a low, quick set, and she just hammered that ball through the seam.
The libero, Kinlan Hartsock, with an easy floater, handled really well by the Wolverines, and as you can see, Chelsey does what she does well on the outside, puts the ball away.
BYU with some nice hustle, but Chelsey Heaps on her second attempt able to put that ball away.
Lanny Stevens in to serve. I'm sorry, Lanny O'Reilly.
I didn't catch that either.
Wow, number 7, Christina Meeson coming down the line over on the left side for BYU.
Brooklyn with a lot of court to cover, a lot of net to cover on that block, all by herself. Tried to jump into that angle. Nice job by the hitter to see that and turn that ball down the line for the kill.
I think that's going to become increasingly hard for hitters to do on Brooklyn as she matures. Denny Robinson's slide on the right side for the Wolverines goes just long, hit that over the block. BYU has an impressive blocker in the middle tonight, number 19, Jennifer Hampson. And also number 15, Nicole Warner. They put up a pretty big block out there.
Tough float serve there, eats up Lanny. Shanks that ball to the right, and there's nobody over there. She shakes that left, it's possibly still in play. Oh wow, great pass going away.
Chelsey Heaps down the line for the kill. Wolverines with another point. Now they just trail by 1, 7-8 in set number 1.
Chelsey Heaps showing a lot of character. That's a big BYU block the other side of that net, and after getting clamped, coming back and just hammering balls.
Heaps with the float serve. BYU handles that pretty well. Tough set out there to Hampson, but she does something smart with the ball, betters it, and gets it to the floor.
Is she really 6'6"? Good heavens.
It appears so.
Yeah, I don't know. As a blocker, you're like, just maybe stand at the 10-foot line and jump, and maybe you get a piece of it.
Danny Robinson coming on. Great swing. BYU's into the net, though. It's a violation on them, and that's a point for the Wolverines. Danny back to serve. Tough float serve, but BYU handles it pretty well and goes to the middle. They hit that ball. They say it was in. It looked a little bit out to me, but I thought they had a touch on it anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Pretty quick. Look how low the set is. Gets up fast, just over the head of Chelsey Heaps.
Nicole Warner out of Rigby, Idaho to serve. Tough float serve. Cat Stevens has to put that one over as a free ball. BYU, they're really stressing that middle attack on a good pass. Looks like they're willing to even force that in there a little bit tonight.
That's a great call right there, because that's exactly what happened. Is they tried to force that middle instead of just shoving that to the outside. The set wasn't there, hitter was late. UV gets away with one.
Brooklyn with a pretty tough serve. They go right back to the middle again and get the kill this time. Still fairly readable play in my opinion, but we'll see if Utah Valley can pick up on that. She seems to be swinging a lot away from her body. Kayli with a little bit of a tough hand set, gets the ball over, and BYU's got to bump set that ball to the outside. Sarah's up there with a big block, but couldn't get that one to stay on the other side of the net.
Christy Carpenter doing a nice job to find the seam on that UV block, exploits it for the kill. 12-9, BYU opens up a 3-point lead.
Folks, to find out more about your UVU women's volleyball team, be sure to visit wolverinegreen.com, where you can find team stats, photos, and a complete season schedule. That's wolverinegreen.com.
That was a well-timed timeout from Sam Atoa. The UV coach wants to take a second to talk about it. 14-9, I believe, unless they had the score wrong before. Yeah, they must have. It's now 13-9. So 4-point lead for BYU. Finding an opportunity to separate a little bit.
Folks, we'll be right back. BYU leads this one, 13-9, set number 1. Stay tuned.
Think back to when you were a child. What did you dream of becoming as an adult? A pilot? A teacher? A nurse? Maybe a mathematician, a mechanic, or a scientist? Did you dream about helping others and achieving great things? Now imagine a place where everyone is focused on your success, where ideas flow and dreams are realized. Imagine an education that is personal, engaging, fun, and professional. A place where your professors know you by name and are devoted to your development. With an education from UVU, all of this becomes true. Utah Valley University. It's your dream. It's your university.
Welcome back, folks, where BYU leads this match 13-9 in set number 1. Steve, we look at a few stats here, and the one that pops out to me the most is the hitting percentage for the Wolverines.
Yeah, it's looking at that, it's amazing the score is what it is, because they're hitting 0 right now, whereas BYU's hitting 308 and yet putting up another kill. 14-9, BYU starting to pull away here. Utah Valley having a hard time putting the ball away and passing as well. I don't think they're able to handle this BYU serve.
Wow, Christy Carpenter with a big block there on her left side, right side of the Wolverines.
Yeah, Kayli struggling to pass that ball. Setter forced to give the ball right back to her. And yeah, Christy Carpenter just housing that. There's a nice pass.
BYU picking that one up, it's a little bit scrappy.
Yeah, that's one thing. BYU, I haven't seen the ball hit the floor a whole lot on their side. They're picking up everything.
Notice there, Kayli not really lining up well on the outside hitter that time. Really got way inside of her, as you can see here. She jumps, but there's a huge seam.
Yeah.
I know Sarah's a little bit late there, but Kayli's got to do a lot bit better at setting that, what we call setting the block.
Yes, good call.
Nice push.
Wow, that was. Great set, great turn down the line. A much needed side out for UV. BYU, another side out, 17-10.
BYU really looking to get some consistency here. Carpenter back to serve. Carpenter's had a nice match so far. Doing well hitting and blocking. That's a little bit better pass for the Wolverines. And as we can see, better passing belies better hitting.
Yeah, that's the thing. BYU started to win that battle of serve-receive, but you'll see there, as you mentioned, perfect pass. She had the opportunity to set anybody she wanted to, which really spreads that block out because they got to stay home. Oh, nice up from Kayli.
Lift call.
Wow.
That was pretty close, but calling that a little bit tight. Said he's up official said push that one, and that's John White, who's our up official tonight. Miley Dukes, the down ref, and tight call, but Wolverines will take that one.
That was kind of a surprising call. Another nice pass from BYU. Wow.
She made sure that one was in the lift.
Yeah.
Stephanie Snow really hammering that ball kind of in the seam on the line there in that right side slide. Really detonating the ball tonight. Great pass by Kayli, pushed out to Chelsey, and a kill, but down the line for Chelsey.
Chelsey having to work hard to get those kills and doing a nice job to do it. I think one thing I've noticed about UV is they just need to serve a little tougher tonight. Try to get BYU out of system. BYU looks like they're doing anything they want to at this point.
Folks, let's take a look at our UVU Wolverine trivia question for the night. When was the last matchup between UVU and BYU? It's an excellent question. Think about that, folks, and we'll be back with the answer to that in our third set. Yeah, Steve, looks like maybe Wolverines playing a little bit tight tonight so far, but I'm sure they're going to get loosened up here.
Yeah, I think so too. They just need to loosen up and have a little more fun out there. Like you say, I think they're putting too much pressure on themselves. On every play, they're working too hard. They just need to kind of loosen up and have some fun.
Folks, just as a reminder, wear pink to the UVU soccer game on October 14th at 4 p.m. in support of former UVU softball player Jordan Denny, who was injured in a serious car accident earlier this year. Fans wearing pink will receive free admission, and also the first 200 fans to attend will receive a free t-shirt courtesy of Utah Army National Guard. Donations for the cause will also be accepted. Thank you for your support. See some of the coaches and even myself sporting a little bit of pink tonight, trying to support the Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October. Had a great showing of that on Tuesday, the match against Weber State. Back to the action, folks, here. Laney O'Reilly serve, goes out to the outside hitter for the Cougars, but that time Brooklyn Campbell and Danny Robinson deny the huge block on the right side.
Yeah, they had plenty of time to set their block up on that play and do a nice job getting in the angle, blocking that ball straight down.
Christina Meeson on the swing there was able to come back with another set. She gets dug by Kathleen Stevens, but we can't control that one, and point for the Cougars.
That's unfortunate. That ball did have some heat on it, but it seemed like Kat could have maybe made a play on that ball, just got away from her.
This match feels like it's a lot closer than it is. It's 14-19. Cougars are up by just a few points, but the Wolverines really need to make a move here, Steve, if they want to take this first set. And a great shot by Danny Robinson there to get them started.
They do. They got to find a way to stop this BYU offense, which is just having their way at the net. And I think that starts with tough serving. Chelsey looking over at Scott Lee, volunteer assistant, for the call on where to serve that ball to.
Nice tip by Kayli on the outside. Back to the outside hitter for BYU, Meeson. Brooklyn Campbell reaching up for that one, but Meeson just going a little bit higher and a little bit more to the line and getting the kill in the back corner.
Did a nice job staying to the net on that first ball. I think that surprised BYU that she got that first block, but fortunately for UV, it didn't go straight down. Nice pass.
Pushed out to Kayli, goes up high off the block. Played back to the Cougars. That time, number 7, Christina Meesom trying to put that one through, but just couldn't sneak it over.
BYU doing a great job of giving themselves multiple opportunities by keeping that ball alive. Libero there making a great stab, popped that ball up, but unable to convert.
Oh, that's a tough, that would have been a great serve that just died at the last minute and went into the net. Gives BYU its 21st point. They lead 21-16 in set number 1. Back serving for the Cougars, number 15, Nicole Warner. Laney O'Reilly with a little bit of trouble on the receive.
Nice bump set.
Kayli that time goes high off the block again.
You mentioned last time we were playing, she had to do the same thing and give a bump set to Kayli, but put a lot of topspin on that. And I'll tell you, it's like you said, you put some topspin on that set, and she's just going to throw down and swing with everything she's got, and she did it again there and got the kill. Nice pass from BYU.
Wow, the middles of BYU tonight really getting off.
Yeah, I don't know who to pick on over there. I haven't really seen anybody make a passing error, but they just need to serve that ball in the gaps a little bit.
Wow, really a tough receive set for the Wolverines. Coach Sam Atoa calling a timeout there. He wants to talk about that. I'm sure wants to talk about how they're going to close out this first set. They still have somewhat of a chance to come back, but we'll see what happens. Folks, we'll be right back. BYU leads 23-17 in set number 1. Don't go away. Broadcast, folks. Set number 1, BYU leads the match 23-17. Set number 1, Steve, the statistic or the piece of the game that really is pointing out to me right now at this point is just the serve receive for Utah Valley, and I think right there, tough example of exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, Kayli opens up to the line there and ace.
Kayli, that's the 3rd time that I've noticed, or that I can recall, that she's gotten eaten up in this first set. But she's not the only one there, as we see the libero struggling to make a play. Wow, that's an uncharacteristic BYU mistake right there as well.
Looks like Brooklyn's gonna push that one out to Kayli. Goes down the line, and that one is called long by the official, and that will do it for set number 1. BYU wins that one 25-17.
Utah Valley has got to be disappointed with the way they came out and played that first set. You know, they had a little bit of fire early on and a little bit of excitement, but BYU got up a couple, and all of a sudden UV just seemed to really tense up.
Well, folks, BYU takes set number 1, 25-17. We'll be right back with the start of set number 2. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Come join the student section and cheer for the mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
The three-point line, and he knocks it down.
folks, welcome back to the Shireen Family Activity Center on the campus of Utah Valley University, where the Wolverines trail the Cougars of Brigham Young 1-0. And Steve, we look at a few stats here from the first set. The things that stand out to me there, you know, obviously serve receive, we just talked about that. And then also, obviously the hitting percentage, which is, you know, going hand in hand, coinciding with that receive percentage.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, starting off with kills, BYU 15 to Utah Valley's 9. So they almost double them up there. BYU hit 346, Utah Valley 120. So hitting percentage was really low there for Utah Valley. BYU had 3 service aces, Utah Valley 0. And the other one that stood out to me was digs. BYU with 8 digs, Utah Valley with 4. So BYU, I mentioned, gave themselves a lot of opportunities by keeping that ball alive. Weren't always able to convert, but still, I mean, the more opportunities, the more, you know, the more points you're going to manufacture. But it's like we said earlier before the match started, who's going to win that serve-receive battle? And BYU just blew up Utah Valley in that. I mean, they didn't seem like they were serving them off the court or like the toughest serves in the world, but Utah Valley, boy, every time they tried to bump past one of those float serves from BYU, they just seemed to struggle. Even the ones they were able to put back in the air weren't perfect passes. And, you know, when you know where the setter's going to go, that makes it that much easier for the block.
We're going to take a look at some stats here as well, Steve, on screen for the viewers at home. Take a peek at that. Let's talk about that a little bit when we get the graphic here.
So yeah, we'll see some of the things we just talked about. 25-17, that's a pretty nice win for BYU. We saw, we mentioned earlier, 15 kills to UV's 9, and 3 service aces to 0. 2 and 2 on the blocks, but you know, Utah Valley didn't give themselves as many opportunities, and I really don't think they served tough enough. I mean, they've really got to put some ball. Kayli brought some nice jump serves in. Other than that, everybody was pretty much, it looked like, just trying to keep it in. So
that's the one thing Coach Shea Goulding talked about it before the match too, is if they could win that serve-receive battle, then they were going to be just fine. And obviously, exactly what she said is true. And BYU so far in command of the match. We'll see. The first 10 points of the first set were, you know, pretty tight. There were 5 tied scores, and the lead had changed 3 times in that first 10 points, and then BYU just kind of took control. Starting off for BYU, nice number 19, there. Jennifer Hampson with the serve. Smart shot.
Look at that, the 6'6" defensive specialist with the pancake there.
Wow. Danny Robinson coming back, blowing that one up.
Danny with some low thunder of her own. Look at this, 6'6". Great pancake there.
Danny's nice a 6'1" middle blocker. She's a senior at Orem, Utah, Orem High School. Local product, Danny Robinson.
Wow. Christy Carpenter going up and getting that ball. She got up for that swing.
Not a good choice there by Brooklyn Campbell on that one. Kind of a tough set, really led Chelsey a little bit far on that one and didn't give her a real good opportunity for a great swing at the ball. Christy Carpenter back to serve for the Cougars. We'll see what Utah Valley does with this one. Another tough reception by the Wolverines. Chelsey goes to the back corner. Tipped over by the Cougars. And Kayli comes back with a tip of her own. Push this time out to Kayli. Couldn't save that one, Steve. And just a little bit of a out of sync for the Wolverines at the moment.
Yeah, that ball was set all the way out to the score table. And Kayli just trying to bring it back into play, unable to do so. A little bit of a mishandled ball there.
Carpenter serve right down the line, handled nicely this time by the Wolverines.
Once again, BYU able to keep that ball alive.
A little bit of a low set that time by Brooklyn, but you know, great swing by Kayli. She did the smart thing with it, just not able to convert on that one.
Yeah. Utah Valley, again, they just need to loosen up a little bit and have a little more fun out there. Pass a little better, take a few more risks.
Danny Robinson with the ping pong kill on the right side. Folks, UVU Sports can now be found on Facebook. Search for Utah Valley Wolverines and become informed on the latest and greatest in Wolverine athletics. Become a fan today. Utah Valley Wolverines on Facebook. Utah Valley starting to make a little bit of noise. Danny Robinson back to serve. Cougars leading them set number 2, 3-2.
Wow.
Wow, some firepower out on the outside hitter position there. That's number 7, Christina Meesum.
It's a great swing. It's almost like there was no block up on that, just untouched. Huge ball from the outside. That was one of the only not perfect passes for BYU, unable to run the middle.
Utah Valley sneaks one over that time. All the blockers for BYU were looking around there. And where'd he go?
Yeah, where'd who go? Brooklyn doing a nice job using the equipment on that one to throw off the BYU block. The tape slowing that down enough that unable to know where it went, and follows it up with a missed serve.
I could see that BYU was a little confused on that one. They were both looking at each other like who was going to take that ball. Fortunately for the Cougars, that ball was long, and they still lead the match 5-3 here in set number 2.
Yeah, with that ball being 3 inches out, they both look like geniuses. They let it go.
A lot of smart kids at BYU.
Yes, there are. UV answering back to pull within 1, 4-5 early on in the second set. Let's see if Kayli's feeling the jump serve. Look at all that room down the line she's got. Good night. Take advantage of that. Nope, she goes right at the libero, who goes high off the hands.
Ball a little bit set inside to Chelsey. Couldn't take advantage of it. And all 6'6" got all of that one.
That's awesome. Just chuck the ball in the air. Was it too tight? Don't care. Was that too far off the net? Don't care. Just throw it up in the air. I'll go get it.
Jennifer Hampson, 6'6", freshman from Pleasant Grove, Utah. Pleasant Grove High School. I'm sure they were sad to lose her.
Heck yeah. But she's not just tall, she's got skills, man. She's got a nice swing, nice mechanics. She's a baller. Many times that I wish I was 6'6".
Oh yeah, complain about being 6'4". Sorry, buddy.
Nice cover from Kat Stevens. Oh, got it. No, they're calling it down.
Miley
that looked like she got it.
Miley Jinks, the down official, she had that one down. And I thought that was the right call for sure. You could see, a lot of times you can tell by just the direction that the ball bounces. A pancake, the player's usually coming forward and that ball's gonna pop up either straight up or it's gonna pop forward slightly. It doesn't usually go backwards.
Go backwards, that's a good call, good indicator. I think Sam might have had a talk with his girls and said, hey, you guys need to serve tougher. So now they're all serving out of bounds by 1 or 2 feet. Trying to put a little more on it.
It only takes just a look from Coach Sam Atoa to get you right in line with what he needs done.
Wow.
That was what we call a trap set there, folks. Had both blockers right on that ball. It wasn't a tight pass, but it was a pass that was right there at the net. And you know, as a setter, you love a ball like that, but can lead to a trap set if you don't go away from the block. JC Caressa with a nice push on the ball from the right side.
Nice bump set, wow.
That ball is, they called that one into the corner.
That is just a genius swing from Christy Carpenter. Rich Lamborn, that was reminiscent of his outside hitting abilities. He wasn't the biggest guy, didn't jump the highest, but he had that deep corner, and he used to just eat guys up with that swing. So anyway, BYU unable to bring that ball back.
Speaking of BYU, we mentioned earlier, number 14, Christy Carpenter, sister of Corey Carpenter, who played on the national championship team for the Cougars. Good friend of ours. Back to serve for the Wolverines, Lanny O'Reilly, number 5. See if she can make something happen. Nice float serve, but handled well by Brigham Young. And once again, going to a very ready and willing Stephanie Snow in the middle.
Yeah, Danny Robinson doing a nice job to contest that. That was a pretty well run play from BYU, but still with the kill.
Stephanie Snow, 6'4" for for the
Oh, look at that, the
Cougars.
beach hands from the 6'6".
Oh, what a great, I think that was 4 contacts. Yep, they caught it. Didn't clear the net. And man, that was a great set though. I really liked that set by Kiana Rogers. What a great push as she was coming around off transition. Not a good pass by the Cougars that time, but Carpenter, the great swing, kind of a chopper down the line, and Kathleen Stevens couldn't come up with that one.
That right there has been probably one of the biggest differences in this match. That same play on UV's side of the net, that ball gets picked up by BYU. BYU has had a couple of those where the pass is off the net, got to run to the outside, and the outsides are getting the ball, getting it done, taking care of business.
Nice push to the outside, but again, very predictable play. BYU trying to run the slide on the bat, goes off the top of the block. Just right now, Steve, bigger hitters, hitting better balls right now for the Cougars.
Yeah, that's what Shea mentioned, head coach for BYU early before the match, was that, hey, we're a very physical team. If we can pass well, we're going to do good things. And boy, they sure have. They are very physical.
Nice off-speed tip by Kayli. We talked about that a couple broadcasts ago where Kayli needed to find that, you know, middle ground where she could mix up some of her shots because she really has that heavy shoulder, but you can't do that, and she's really found that out quickly against a big blocking team like BYU. Very smart play.
That's a good call.
BYU struggling a little bit with its passing right now, but the hitters are still taking advantage, going high off the block or going to the open court. So right now we got number 7, Christina Meeson with the kill on that last play, going high off the hands. And number 6, Kendallin Hartsock, the libero, to serve for the Cougars. Pushed out to Kayli that time. Now going back to Chelsey Heaps. BYU gets a chance at it. And a huge stuff block by Sarah Clement.
Utah Valley finally able to do something against this BYU offense.
BYU up 13-10 in set number 2 here. Kiana Rogers, setter for BYU, just shrugged that one off, said, ah, no big deal, come right back to you. She's not gonna be able to get that one though. And that's a bad set, they should have called out. You can see that the direction of that was not in the location that it was intended, and also the spin on the ball. That's two big indicators there.
The location of where that ball ended up kind of called itself, and there's nothing the hitter was gonna do with that set.
Folks, if you want to see this game broadcasted live, please visit uvu.edu/broadcast/streaming. You'll be able to join in with us on the broadcast, listen in on all the action. Please join us, uvu.edu/broadcast/streaming.
Well, UV doing their best to hang around in the second set. Within 2, 11-13.
You can see a little bit of a different countenance on the faces of the Cougars right now. It looks like they're concerned about something. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's just UVU coming back a few points and really almost getting this one even, just down by 2 at 13-11.
Yeah, you're right. There has been a little bit of a momentum shift. Seems like UV has kind of started to have a presence here in the gym, which is nice to see.
We take a look at Willie the Wolverine there on the floor. We also can take a look in the stands and see the mall. And for all students interested in supporting Wolverine athletics, become a member of Mall. Mall members enjoy free admission to all home sporting events and receive discounts at many local businesses. Become a member at Campus Connection for only $5. Join the Mall today. It's a great deal, $5 for all the home athletic contests you can watch. Brooklyn Campbell back to serve while we resume action here after the timeout. Tough floater off the net.
Oh, what a great pass on that ball.
Kiana Rogers, man, getting a little cocky there with the shot, which could have ended up not really well for them, but she put it in a great place. And
well, it was a I mean, when I say it was a great pass, I mean just the effort alone to keep that ball in the air. That was an ace by any standard, and she just lunged for it, popped it in the air. I don't know if Kiana had too many options. UV answering back and answering with vigor.
Chris McGowan over on the sideline for the Cougars, calling for the throw there. Didn't quite like the call there. Thought that
that was a little water polo-ish.
Great pass by the Cougars, going back to the middle. Picked up this time by the Wolverines. Pushed out quickly to Chelsey Heaps. And a net violation on the Cougars. Looks like number 15, I believe.
UV giving BYU a little of their own medicine, able to keep that ball in play and convert.
I think Wolverines still need to pick up that pass and get the ball to the middles like they did against Weber the other night. Be able to spread that attack out a little bit, spread the block out, really get more into what we call the system. Right now they're just a little bit one-dimensional, and that's just still partly due to the passing, which is not all the way solid yet.
Nice pass. Wow.
And you can see that's what happens, Steve, when they have a pass when it's not so good, not so good, not so good, and then it's like a really good pass. You know they're going to run that middle,
right.
And then what happens? They
Everybody's
read that.
Up for it.
Exactly.
Right. Nice pass.
Chelsey Heaps off the block on the left-hand side.
Such a smart swing from Chelsey. High hands. You know, watching Jennifer Hampson, the 6'6", is she outside? I can't remember. She, with her size and her hops.
She's the opposite.
She's an opposite, yeah, my bad. She, oh, great dig from Brooklyn. Oh,
really,
man,
really
that did
great.
Not miss by much.
Great chance by Kayli there to convert a smart shot. Would have brought the match within.
You can't get down on yourself on that shot. I mean, that missed by inches. There might even be a little green paint on that ball. I'm not sure.
Good pass this time by the Wolverines. JC Caressa getting some love on the right-hand side there. Squeaking the ball through the block.
The point I was going to make earlier about Jennifer Hampson being 6'6", typically the blockers will take an area and then the defense will fill in behind, fill in those gaps and try to take everything else. But when you've got a hitter that can just go right over the top of the block, there's really, I mean, you don't know where to be as a defensive player because there's the block. We'll see if it, well, see right there, it goes inside.
Well, I'll
and
tell you,
hammers.
One way they need to neutralize a big hitter like that is to serve them short. They get no approach. And obviously she's still going to be very tall, but she's not going to have the momentum and pace on the ball that she normally would. I think that's something that Coach Atoa might want to go with, but we'll see. Folks, right now, BYU leading in the second set, 18-15. We'll be right back with more action. Don't go away.
Situated just 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City, UVU is located at the foot of the scenic Wasatch Mountains in Orem, Utah. Within 20 miles of campus, students enjoy access to year-round outdoor recreation. Utah Valley is also home to a vibrant local arts and music scene. Many students choose UVU for access to a dynamic economy, employment, and career opportunities.
Family Activity Center, the campus of Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. BYU leads the match 1-0. We're in the second set, and they're up 18-15. Steve, looking at some of the stats here just that we've got a few minutes ago, looking at one thing that's still a little bit low for Utah Valley, still their attack percentage is still a little bit low. It's come up a little bit since we had these stats a few minutes ago, but still about half of where the Cougars are. So.
Yeah, the fact that they're even hanging around is saying a lot about that squad because you're right. I mean, their hitting percentage has been about half of BYU's all night.
Smart play by the Wolverines there, going out over the smaller setter, Kiana Rogers. Kiana, she's only 5'9", I believe. Well, we've got her listed here, 5'11". I don't think she's quite that tall, but definitely a lot smaller than the outside hitters for Utah Valley. Wow.
Oh, whoops.
That was a great swing by number 18, Stephanie Snow.
A little bit
she waited and hung in the air for that ball to come down and just hammered it, but then Christy Carpenter just let that one land in bounds.
UV stole that one away. Christy Carpenter's called court awareness. Know where you are.
She's going to take a big swing here.
Oh! Wow.
Kind of saw that one coming. She made the first pass. It was quite far off the net. The ball gets bump set, but it's still about 6 or 7 feet off the net, but you could tell she was going to hammer it.
Yeah.
And
she wasn't looking at the block, wasn't looking at anything except just putting that ball away as hard as she could.
Well, folks, Utah Valley climbing back. Score is tied 18-all in set number 2. Don't go away. We'll be right back with some more great volleyball action.
If you're serious about going to college and getting a head start on the process, come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. It's a great opportunity to meet your future dean, professors, and advisors. Highlighted programs include business, science and health, education, humanities, aviation, dance, theater, and emergency service. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer in your field of study.
Folks, we are back live. Score is tied 18-all here, the second set. Steve, and it looks like the Wolverines are making their move right now. See if they can knock this matchup one set apiece. We'll see what happens. Chelsey Heaps serving.
Chelsey out of the timeout with a tough, deep floater. I thought that was a great timeout from Shea. Feeling the momentum shift within this building. And Chelsey with a great serve out of that timeout, eating up the libero of all people. Oh.
Really lucky. Kiana Rogers still with that swagger, man. She will not be denied. She, I like to see the swagger, especially at the setter position. But we'll see. She's got to make some good plays there. She's had a few where she might have took a few off.
UV needs a big side out right here. Oh.
I thought that was a good choice by Brooklyn Campbell, but the middle is really huge for BYU, and they were able to close up that seam really quickly. I'm really impressed with Stephanie Snow to this juncture in the match. Tough pass.
Oh, trouble.
Not a great free ball pass for the Cougars, but picked up nicely. Kayli, this time hammering over Kiana Rogers, who still she has that swagger. She feels like every ball she's gonna block, and every set is just gonna lead to a kill. And you know what? You can't blame her for having that kind of confidence.
No, you can't fault her for that. That's great. That's probably why she's starting for a NCAA team. Oh, that's trouble, but she makes a pretty nice stab at it. Wow.
Lanny O'Reilly not even ready for that ball coming through the block on that one. I think she was totally in the right place, but not quite ready for the pace that was coming on that ball.
Yeah, that is so frustrating for the defense to see him struggle on the serve receive. Oh, wow. And still get the kill. Nice job there from UV to lay off that ball. That wasn't out by much.
UV tied up 21-all with the Cougars here in set number 2, folks. It's an exciting match. If you're listening online or watching us on UVU TV, this is a great match so far.
Oh, using that block out of bounds.
Just got to get her hands over a little bit farther, pressing into the court, and I think she gets that block, but that time she had him kind of straight up. No problem for the blocker to tool her that time.
Watching BYU in that serve receive rotation, there was a huge hole in the middle of the court. Oh, trouble. I mean, like you said, if you serve that hitter, trouble again for UV. You serve that outside hitter short, she's got no way to approach to hit that ball, basically takes her out, gives the block an opportunity to key on the other two hitters, but UV drops two quick ones, 23-21.
You see also on that play where Sarah Clement kind of got stuck over there by herself. JC Caresa and Kayli were just kind of in no man's land. But like you said, Wolverines down 21-23 to the Cougars. Folks, will be right back.
There's so much to enjoy outdoors in the state of Utah. Whether you want a spring, summer, fall, or winter adventure, the OEC has you covered. Backpacking, winter camping, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, backcountry snowboarding and skiing, rafting, kayaking, rock climbing, mountain biking, and hiking.
Folks, welcome back to the broadcast, where Utah Valley's down in the second set, 21-23 to the visiting Brigham Young University Cougars. Steve, it's really getting tight here. We had the momentum shifting towards Utah Valley, but now kind of swinging back towards the Cougars. What can we do what does Utah Valley need to do to get this one back in hand?
I don't know, but this is key for the rest of this match. To be up 20-19 and to lose this second set, it's going to be very hard for them to come back in the third set with any confidence or, as you say, swagger. 24-21.
That was a great pass by Kat Stevens. Great set. Had a huge, huge hole. Kayli just missed the floor. Of course, they went right back to her that time. Kiana Rogers thinking she should have that dig too, man. She is the leader of the Cougars for sure.
22-24. You wouldn't want anybody else back there serving. Oh, too much pressure on herself, and
out by a foot there on the back line. And that's game, or I should say set point number 2. Cougars take 25-22 lead in the second set and are up 2-0 in the match at this point. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Start of the third set. Don't leave.
Here at UVU's College of Technology and Computing, also known as TNC, we don't spend a lot of time bragging, but I guess we could. We could brag about having one of the top 3 aviation programs in the entire country, turning out professional pilots and administrative personnel to work for airlines and private industry. Or we could brag about our national award-winning culinary arts program, with graduates who are going straight to glamorous jobs on cruise ships and in major restaurants, or who are opening their own restaurants. Or we could brag about our digital media students who are winning major awards even before they graduate. Or we could brag about our international efforts, sending TNC students all over the world, places like Mali and Russia and Namibia. Or we could brag about our computer science department, or our information systems and technology department as they continue to train some of the best and sharpest young minds in the state of Utah, using state-of-the-art technology in classrooms and computer labs. Or we could brag about our technology management program, where students are always engaged in life-changing projects like using technology to assist those with disabilities. Or I guess we could brag about the fact that many of the CSI investigators and fire and rescue personnel in the state of Utah have gone through extensive training in our public services programs. Or I guess we could brag about our world land speed record car that was completely built and raced out of our highly acclaimed automotive department. Or we could brag about our high-tech electrical automation and robotic technology and mechatronics programs. Or our engineering graphics and design program, which is turning out some of the most advanced technicians in the state of Utah. Or we could brag about our construction technology students who helped build Habitat for Humanity homes and just won first place at the National Association of Home Builders competition in Las Vegas. That's first place in the entire nation. Or we could brag about TNC students leading UVU to a first, second, or third place finish in the nation for 10 straight years at the National Skills USA competition. Or we could brag about the fact that many companies are discovering that when they hire our graduates, they get somebody who doesn't just know facts. They get a TNC graduate who has actually done it before. And that's because our TNC students are engaged, truly engaged, in actually doing things rather than just learning facts. So, even though there is a lot to brag about here at the College of Technology and Computing, we really don't like to brag much.
About going to college and getting a head start on the process? Come get a feel for what university life is like. UVU Days are designed with you in mind. UVU Days are department-specific events held on Saturdays that will allow you to become a student for a day. These events are free and breakfast and lunch are served. It's a great opportunity to meet your future dean, professors, and advisors. Highlighted programs include business, science and health, education, humanities, aviation, dance, theater, and emergency service. For more information, dates, and times, please visit our website at www.uvu.edu/future students. Come experience what UVU has to offer in your field of study.
Love everything about UVU. I really do. It's a fantastic place. I feel like I've grown as an artist, as a student, as a human being.
As someone from a different state who was trying to find a dance school, it was very, very hard, and I happened to come by UVU by chance, actually. It's a great school. It teaches you history, rhythm, music, choreography, improv, dance. It even has a major in ballroom dance.
When I think of UVU's School of the Arts program, I think of opportunity that I wouldn't get anywhere else outside of the classroom. I feel like I know my professors. I feel like they're interested in my learning process.
The professors here have just been really, really personable, very, very willing to go out of their way to meet with me, to talk with me, offer advice, counsel, and just overall, they just believe that what you're doing here matters. And that's what I love.
There's so much to enjoy outdoors in the state of Utah. Whether you want a spring, summer, fall, or winter adventure, the OAC has you covered. Backpacking, winter camping, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, backcountry snowboarding and skiing, rafting, kayaking, rock climbing, mountain biking, and hiking.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Situated just 45 minutes south of Salt Lake City,
Folks, welcome back to the match. Brigham Young University Cougars lead 2-0 versus Utah Valley Wolverines. Steve is looking at the stats here for the first 2 sets. It looks like to me that, Utah Valley has kind of fixed the receive. They've kind of, staying steady with the block. Their serving is still doing okay, but the 2 deficiencies there now are the attack percentage, and also it looks like the setting percentage kind of just dipping down a little bit there. And as you look at the stats there on screen, you can kind of see where that all is really tied into where BYU has the edge right now. But what can Utah Valley do to fix it?
Well, again, I mean, we kind of beat this dead horse a lot, but they really just need to serve tougher and pass better. I mean, if they BYU's winning the serve-receive battle right now. That's all it comes down to. They're serving tougher, they're passing better. So, if UV can tighten it up a little bit, then I think they're right back in this.
Looking back at the first set action right here, really close. UVU had a little bit of a lead there going into the second set, but then Brigham Young able to kind of pull back, get on its horse, and really hasn't looked back that much since. Obviously, it was a little bit tighter at the end of the second set, but I'm sure Coach Atoa wants them to clean it up, and I really think that if they can keep passing well, they'll be able to get in their system, and Brooklyn Campbell's going to be able to make better choices and fool the block a little bit, which is just huge for
they got
BYU.
A big block. They do. I think one of the things comes to mind is they got right up there. I think they were up 19-18 or even 20-19, and then just kind of tightened up a little bit, and BYU ran away with it. They need to learn how to close. They need to learn how to finish when they get to that. I mean, they put themselves in a great position to win that set, and then they just kind of folded and went away.
As I was commenting on Kiana Rogers and her swagger and things like that, I've been also reflecting, just kind of thinking about what that really means to BYU. And what that means is on the floor, they have a leader. They have someone they can look to, or that will look at them and say, hey, this is what we need to do to pick it up, or I'm going to make that next play. And she is always taking it upon herself. Right now, Utah Valley, I don't really see that for them. Obviously, their leader on the floor, in my opinion, is Kayli Broadbent, even though Brooklyn Campbell's the setter. And, I think with Kayli struggling on her passing a little bit, it's kind of not allowed her to be that leader on the floor that Utah Valley needs right now.
You're right. That's a huge component to a successful team, is having somebody to lead. I mean, you think of any sport, whether it be football, basketball, you've got to have somebody on that court that's taking control, that's fiery, that you can feed off their emotion.
So, folks, a reminder to wear pink at the UVU soccer game on October 14th, 4 p.m. in support of former UVU softball player Jordan Denny. She was injured this year very seriously in a car accident. And the fans that are wearing pink will receive free admission, and the first 200 fans to attend will receive a free t-shirt courtesy of Utah Army National Guard. Also, donations for the cause will be accepted, and we'd like to thank you for your support of that cause. Looks like we're getting ready to set up our lineups here right now. Looks like the officials have checked in. Everyone's looking good. Back to serve for the Wolverines, number 5, Lanny O'Reilly. Wolverines, no substitutions, and no substitutions for the Cougars. Looks like we're right back with the starting lineups on the floor. Tough pass for the Cougars. Christy Carpenter getting blocked that time. Brooklyn Campbell doing a lot better job of setting that block inside a bit where the set was, as you can see here. And that just allows Danny Robinson to get over, be in a position to block the ball.
That whole thing started with a very tough serve. That one's pretty tough too. Again, no way she's running the middle off of that pass.
Boy, that was a great idea by Christy Carpenter. Just gonna lay that one like a soft roll shot over on the top of the setter there when she was inside on the block, but didn't quite make it over the net. But I like what Brooklyn Campbell's doing on the block, setting it correctly on the right shoulder of the hitter, and doing a lot better job allowing the middles to get over.
Wow, where did BYU go?
And that one goes out of bounds. BYU really in a hole right now, starting off the third set. Down 0-3. Wolverines in control, and we have our first substitution into the match. Coming in number 21, that's Tasia Afalava. Tasia is a 5'11" freshman, outside hitter from South Jordan, Utah, Bingham High School. Coming in with a pretty good pass. Nice cutter there. And that time Chelsey Heaps with the kill on the left side.
4 straight points from Utah Valley. I don't know if they just lulled BYU to sleep or if Sam gave everybody a Red Bull during the break. I don't know what happened, but yeah, UV starting off this tough serve from Lanny.
Just
again, look at that, another bad pass.
Brooklyn's got to let Kathleen get that first ball.
Oh, great touch.
That time I'm not going to really falter for it, but I think in the event that she can let someone else get that first ball, obviously it's always going to allow her to transition back to the net, or to the setter spot is what we like to call it.
That's going to open everything up too, because when she takes that first ball, there's no setter anymore.
Coach Atoa talking with Lanny O'Reilly, telling her where to set her defensive position on the court.
Wow, nice pass, a tough serve.
Nice tool by the Wolverines. Can the Cougars bring it back? It looks like they're going to get a shot at it. Good pass by Danny Robinson.
Oh, great stab from Kayli.
Nice job. Nice job by Lanny O'Reilly, staying under the net when she was clearly over the 10-foot line.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're calling BYU because she was over.
Which is really odd. The up official says he didn't see it. Miley Duke should have had it, and that's really interesting to me that Wolverines didn't get that point.
Yeah, I didn't think she was over either. Oh, and I think Brooklyn could have set that ball with her hands. Wow. Brooklyn, what a great block. Able to set herself up in the angle. Christy's been hitting a lot of angle tonight. She's all by herself on that net. She just housed that ball.
I don't know who made the adjustment for her, but Brooklyn Campbell made the needed adjustment on the block, really setting that in the right space this time.
Nice pass from BYU, able to run that middle again.
Great touch by Kathleen Stevens, but just couldn't get enough of it to keep it in bounds.
Yeah, she made a great move for that ball.
Wolverines seeming to settle down a little bit here in set number 3. Carpenter back to serve for the Cougars. Nicely handled ball by Chelsey Heaps. Danny Robinson doing the smart thing, tooling the smaller blocker. Going right off the hands of number 7, Christina Meesom. You can see right there, just smart shot down the line, right off the block. Tough jump floater by Kathleen Stevens.
That's trouble. Oh,
great effort. Great effort by Kiana Rogers.
Almost able to keep that ball in play.
Almost came up with a perfect set.
Yeah, that was like 2 feet away from just being money.
Good pass for the Cougars. Backside set. Chelsey Heaps tries to get there.
Erica a little bit late setting that block up, but still a decent soft block. Just out of the hands of the racing Chelsey Heaps.
Erica Nish in for Sarah Clement. Great pass by Lanny O'Reilly that time. Brooklyn, I think that time, probably, if she was gonna go with the dump, she could have went soft to the middle. She kind of threw that one back toward the defensive player, but I think she really had the middle staying home. I think she could have kicked that one to the outside. She's gonna have to go outside to this one. BYU picks that one up. Kiana Rogers.
Cover.
Nice tool off the top by Kayli Broadbent. I'm sorry, Kayli Doxey.
Kayli who? Kayli with absolutely no approach on that ball. Still able to put enough on it to put it away. Utah Valley up 8-5. See, BYU's kind of gotten their wits about them now, and now they're hanging with and sighting out ball after ball. So UV's going to have to stay tough, try to open it up a little more.
Steve, let's take a look back at our trivia question from the first set. When was the last matchup between UVU and BYU?
Last year? Wow. Oh, no. Just out of bounds.
Wow. Yeah. So once again, folks, when was the last matchup between UVU and BYU? Well, it's been some time. This is the first time since 2006 when BYU won 3-1 that the Cougars have come in and invading on the Wolverine territory here. So been quite some time. You'd think that these teams would match up every year, but with the conference changes and different things like that for the Wolverines, I think that's not allowed them to schedule the Cougars as often as they would like to. Back to action in set number 3. Utah Valley Erica Nish playing that one over. Tipped by the Cougars. Wow.
There was a double
Chelsey Heaps getting set up to the outside, tipping that one back over. Rogers can't keep up with it. And that one goes over here toward the scorer's table. And that's a point for Utah Valley. Utah Valley with a 9-8 lead in set number 3. Served by Kayli.
Serve. Decent pass. Wow, nice set. Wow. BYU able to recover. Great serve. Good enough pass.
It's a good block attempt by the Wolverines.
Rogers just shot that set out of a cannon all the way across the court. Great location.
Great back set to Chelsey Heaps. Finds the floor. Folks, we have a great attendance here tonight. UVU all-time record, 2,106 people inside the building, Steve. We almost have to call the fire marshal.
Nice.
Brooklyn Campbell with a great set to the backside. Chelsey going hard down the line.
Oh. Looked like Kayli wasn't sure.
Chelsey with a great roll
that
shot.
Ball was in or not. Nice touch from Erica Nish in the back row.
You got a touch on that one, I think.
Yeah, not a very controlled touch, but I didn't get hurt, so that's good. A little rattled, but I'll be all right.
BYU and UVU knotted up, 10 apiece here.
Nice
Heaps with the kill. Gives Utah Valley a lead here, 11-10 in set number 3, folks.
Chelsey with a great swing. Great couple of swings, really. No fear against that big BYU block.
This is sometimes where Laney had some really great serves at the beginning of this set, but the one thing that I really sometimes think is you got to leave some of your better attackers out there when you need points.
Right.
And I don't know, it may not hurt to leave Chelsey in and let her get some serves and maybe some attacks out of the back row when you need it, but you know, so far it's working.
Yeah, she scored basically 5 points for this UV team to get them up 12-10 right now, halfway through this third set. Yeah, she's got a lot of movement on that float serve of hers, giving BYU all kinds of problems.
Well, folks, been some great action here in set number 3. Wolverines lead 12-10. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Don't touch that dial. Third set, 12-10. Steve, as we look at the stats thus far in the third set, we see that Utah Valley's kind of bumping it up in all categories there.
Yeah, they really are. They look at that, another bad pass. But they go to the automatic. Jeez. Jennifer Hansen, really, just throw the ball in the air.
It's the Dominator.
Really, I mean, she's sighting out at will. They don't use her as much as I thought they might have.
Just played back over to the Cougars that time. Now another set back to Warner. Pushed outside. Chelsey Heaps going off the block and the hands, getting the point. Giving the Utah Valley 13-11 lead, set number 3. Folks, Utah Valley Athletics is now on Twitter. Go to twitter.com/WolverineGreen to see the latest tweets about your favorite UVU athletics teams. Chelsey Heaps back to serve for the Wolverines. Not a great pass by the Cougars, but a good set.
Wow, that was a money set on a horrible pass. Great job from Rogers to get that ball back where the hitter needed it.
Rogers still taking command for the Cougar side. That leader on the floor. Carpenter back to serve. Chelsey Heaps with a money, great pass, and Danny Robinson kind of missing the seam there, missing the floor, but tooling the block for the point counts just the same.
Yeah, able to put that ball away. We talked a little bit about stats briefly. A couple things that jumped out at me so far in this third set. BYU with 0 service aces, UV with 2, and while BYU still has 8 digs, UV has 10. So there's a couple of things there, and UV, even though they're only hitting 211, the big one is they've held BYU to 190. They've been in the upper 300s all night, so doing a nice job at the net and at the service line.
Another great
pass.
pass.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice play.
And that was the soft shot I was talking about there. Folks, UVU Sports can now be found on Facebook. Search for Utah Valley Wolverines and become informed of the latest and greatest in Wolverine athletics. Become a fan on Facebook today.
Caressa back in. She was a pretty nice asset in that last time through the front row. Oh, nice hustle there from Heaps. Boy, this floor is just, there's like, I don't know, man, there's like no give at all. They hit the ground and they're not going anywhere.
There's only one person I've ever known that could slide on this floor and any other floor.
Oh, I think it's Scott Lee. I don't know. Who do you think?
Larry Lentz.
Larry Lentz, of course. He's got like 3 sweatshirts on.
Kiana Rogers back to serve.
BYU knots it up at 15s.
That one
just went long.
Just long there.
The ball fell off the table at the end there. Just missed.
Folks, stay tuned for an interview with Coach Sam Atoa just after the game. Following his interview, we'll be announcing the player of the game, brought to you by Costa Vida. Costa Vida, eat well and live inspired.
Always.
Hopefully the Wolverines can pull off a victory here tonight. It's always a little more fun to interview Coach Atoa when the Wolverines have won.
More fun, less scary, whatever, however you want to put that.
I can always just let you do it.
Hello, is this thing on? Nice pass, look at that, off the bench. Oh!
Patty Flagg with just a great, what we call a 10 pass. Patty Flagg out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
JC hit that ball right where I would have. Boy, it looked like the middle of the court was wide open. Kind of a stealth. Oh boy, that's a couple plays in a row. Sam's got to be taking timeout. Yeah.
Good call on that one, Steve. Timeout for the Wolverines.
2 quick ones. Down 13-15 are now up 18-16.
Folks, we'll be right back. Utah Valley down in the third set, looking to come back.
Dr. John is a real UVU professor, not an actor. So to tell his story, we hired a UVU student.
Knowledge-based edification increases executive functioning in the frontal lobes.
Yo, dude, UVU is more than an education. It's a life experience.
Exposure to enhanced pedagogical approaches promotes neural activity in the limbic system.
For sick education, get here and strap in.
UVU facilitates the discovery of your personal Weltanschauung.
What?
Dude, you don't know everything yet.
Utah Valley University. It's your university.
Weltanschauung!
Folks, welcome back to the Shurian Family Activity Center, where you can see they're taking the life of Willie in their own hands, the cheerleaders. I was fearing for his life there just a little bit.
Well, you're not the only one.
Wolverines looking to come back down 2. Very, very doable here at this point, this juncture of the third set. Great pass by Kathleen Stevens out to Chelsey, who goes off, I thought had a touch, but no call. Ball stays with the Cougars, 19-16.
UV has got to realize BYU is not going to give them anything. They've got to tighten up a little bit here. That's a great pass. Goes right back to Heaps. Booyah.
I like to see that. That was a good pass. Allowed really the blocker to have to kind of stay with the middle there. And Brooklyn was able to kick that out to Chelsey, who really thundered that one through. Erica Nish to serve. Nice, tough floater. Pulls BYU off the net a little bit.
Oh, just out. Nice block there from UVU. Unable to contain.
Number 15, Nicole Warner back to serve for the Cougars. Tight pass. Chelsey Heaps just a little bit high and tight on that one, but in a good location. Coach Atoa taking another timeout. He does not want this one to get any further away than this right now.
Yeah, I don't know at this point what you tell your girls. I think they know. It's just a matter of being able to settle down and do it.
Folks, we'll be right back. Take a short break. Don't go away. Utah Valley trailing the Cougars 17-21, set number 3.
We meet here once a week. It's a chance to discuss mostly.
I've always been like super concerned about saving money, right? But like I really wanted like a good education too. I guess I really got green fever when like I found out how Utah Valley University can get me both.
We have our regulars, and of course there are always our new ones every time.
I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve.
This is my first week here. I'm really excited. This whole green fever thing's kind of just started for me. So.
More and more people want to know about green fever.
Come join the student section and cheer for the Mighty Wolverines. Mighty Athletic Wolverine League sports passes are now available. Your mall pass gets you tickets to every NCAA home game, free food at the tailgate parties, prizes at the games, and lots of new friends. Get more information on their Facebook page or by calling Campus Connection at 801-863-8797. Go UVU!
Folks, welcome back to Shurian Family Activity Center, where Wolverines are trailing 17-21 in the third set. Number 15, Nicole Warner to serve for the Cougars. Danny Robinson right in the middle, back with the kill. Steve looking good right now.
Great play by UV. Danny was up quick. The set was money. Great job going right up over the block that was still rising up. And they got a lot of work to do. Great time for Lanny to roll off 4 more.
And if you look right now, see basically 3 liberos in the back row for the Wolverines. Looking to play that scrappy defense, and Lanny gets a touch on that ball, but just can't bring that one up. It's a great swing off the right side.
They might as well just drop off the net and have 6 defensive specialists out there trying to pop that ball up.
Yeah, Jennifer Hampson, quite the attack tool there. Hampson with the serve with a great pass by O'Reilly. Nice that time by Chelsey going down the line. It was a good block up by the Cougars.
I don't even think Jennifer made a move on that ball. That thing hit her before she even realized it was hit.
Coach
Nice turn down the
Atoa
line.
rolling the dice with the Vegas girl, Patty Flagg, playing defense in the back row, taking Kayli Doxey out. She's back in on the front row now. She put up a great block there, and Lanny O'Reilly just couldn't get to it.
Yeah, UV is just about out of time and out of room to get anything done here. They need a quick side out. They need to rattle off 4 or 5 in a row. Tough feat to do against this BYU team tonight. Great pass.
Kiana Rogers, the tough inside set on that one. Great free ball pass. The net violation on number 7, Christina Meeson that time, but Danny Robinson was putting that one to the floor anyway. Folks, be sure to join us here on Tuesday, October 19th, as UVU takes on Southern Utah. The game will be broadcast live here on UVU TV at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. Great touch by Kat Stevens, played over by Doxey. Tough free ball pass for the Cougars, low set.
That almost could have been called.
UV has a chance to convert another point here.
Just out of bounds.
Chelsey Heaps was clear of the back line, but wasn't able to bring it in, and they have to play flawlessly at this point. This is match point right now for the Cougars. Folks, next week, UVU will head back out on the road for conference clashes against Texas Pan American and Houston Baptist. Games will be played on Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain and Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain, respectively. Don't miss those. Oh, that block, but out of bounds. Erica Nish just couldn't keep that one in bounds. And that is game, set, match for the Cougars. Really quick one here tonight. Steve, a lot of tough points, tough loss for the Cougars. They don't like to lose to the crosstown rivalry, BYU, but BYU just had a little too much in the tank tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough loss for UV, because I know they had pretty high expectations coming in tonight. They felt like, you know, they'd never gotten a win against BYU. Maybe this was their year. And
had a better record.
Yeah, you know, I mean, BYU has struggled this year, but boy, not tonight. They looked like they were firing on all cylinders, and UV just didn't quite have enough.
Yeah, you know, struggling early on with the reception game. Utah Valley just a little bit too little, too late, so to speak. They didn't have really any room to make any mistakes, and it's kind of tough to play that way, tough to play from behind. And we got Coach Sam Atoa coming in here for our post-game interview, and he's going to slide in. We'll talk to Coach Atoa here, get his thoughts on the match. I'm sure, Coach, welcome. Thanks for joining us here. We know it's not always easy to come in on a losing night, but you know, we looked at a few things, and as we're kind of waiting for the stats here, just tell us a little bit of your thoughts on the match.
Well, it's unfortunate. You know, we were just a little short here and there, and BYU took advantage of it. You know, they played a much better match. You know, they passed well, and offensively they just they hit. And defensively, we had a hard time trying to stop really anything that they were doing. So hats off to BYU. They came into an environment that's very tough to play in, and they took it to us.
Yeah, hats off to them is right. I mean, they did not play like a 4-12 team tonight. They came in and they were very strong offensively, very physical team. And it's got to be a disappointing night for you. I know you guys had a lot of confidence and a lot of optimism going into this match, but as you say, BYU was just a little bit too hard to handle tonight.
Yeah, they really were. Offensively, you know, I don't know what the last stats are, but after the second set, they were hitting well into the 300s, and they for sure were taking care of the ball on their end of things, and we just struggled. You know, for the most part. So we did some really good things to kind of keep us into it, and then we weren't able to be consistent enough throughout the whole match. Full 25 points. So we did that to a certain point, but BYU did a much better job than we did, tonight, and that's too bad for us.
It is, but again, you got to take away some positive things from tonight. I mean, you guys aren't in as big a conference as them. You don't play the size of opponents that they do. So to do as well as you did against a team like that, I mean, both the second and third set, you guys gave yourselves great opportunities, but just weren't really able to close, and maybe, I don't know, tightened up a little bit there toward the end, and BYU was able to finish it out.
And to do it in front of a record crowd, I don't know if you knew this or not tonight, Coach, but 2,106 people here in attendance. Tell us, what does that mean to you?
Well, that's great. Good teams like BYU, that's going to happen. You're going to bring, they're going to come, and people are going to come and see that. And I wish we would have been able to perform better, and I felt like that we were in a good spot to be able to execute well, but it just wasn't our night tonight. And so that's unfortunate for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, Coach, thanks for joining us. We're going to sneak in Kayli Doxey here. Appreciate it, Coach. Kayli's just signing a few autographs from some of the younger fans. She's gonna
and some of the older ones too, man, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Kayli. Welcome, Kayli.
Hi.
I'm sure you'd like to be here under a little bit more positive circumstances, but a rough loss for you guys tonight. I know you guys had pretty good confidence, and I mentioned to Sam optimism about going into this match. You guys felt like this was probably your year to take a win off of them,
right.
But take us through the match real quick. How'd you guys think you did?
I don't know. Every year with BYU, it just seems to be a mental game. And athlete for athlete, I think we have what it takes. And we just didn't, started off strong in the first set and didn't do it. And second set, we got closer. And third set.
Right.
Third set came out ready to do it again, and it just didn't happen. Defense.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, it looked like you guys were a little bit tight coming in that first set. And the second set, you guys kind of got through that, worked through it, and then toward the very end, you guys are right there, and then all of a sudden they pulled away. I don't know if you guys tensed up or what, but and a little bit in the third set as well. But you guys, hats off to you guys. You gave yourself chances and
Thank you.
And hung in there. And
Thanks.
You're one of the most exciting outside hitters to watch. You've got a cannon for a shoulder, an awesome jump serve, and
Thank you.
A lot of fun to watch out there tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell us real quickly, why did you come to Utah Valley for school? Tell us what made you choose UVU.
I get that question a lot. I just love this location. I fell in love with the coaches. I fell in love with the campus. Everything about it is it just feels like a home. And it's a small campus, but that's what makes it great.
A little bit different weather than Gilbert, Arizona, though.
Yeah.
I'm from Las Vegas, so I can kind of appreciate probably how you felt when you first got here.
It's taken me 4 years to get used to it.
I don't think I've gotten used to it yet. But no, as Steve mentioned, you're a great player.
Thank you.
Seen a lot of great things from you. Very exciting. Tell us just last thing, what you went over on a trip this summer. Just give us your thoughts on that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Where do I start? I could talk all day. New Zealand and Samoa was unbelievable. Going there with a family, individually, it would never be the same. You can never top going over there with Sam and with the team. And seeing where he lived and the people he associated with, serving those people is life-changing. Taught us all a lot, and it brought us closer together.
That's awesome. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing that with
Thanks.
us. Yeah, life is a lot more than just volleyball.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And thanks. We look forward to watching you some more here this season. So
Thanks,
thank you.
Kayli.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
See you guys.
Folks, join us next time here on UVU TV, Tuesday, October 19th at 7 p.m., where the Wolverines will take on Southern Utah. This broadcast was produced by students from the Digital Media Department and is copyright by Utah Valley University. I'm Kevin Castle alongside with Steve Vail, and folks, we are shutting it down. Good night.